So in this video, I just want to do another look at the seasonality of the market. And I'm gonna do a quick run through of some stocks that I'm looking at and just go through some other things about what happened in the markets. So right now, it's late February, call it. And we've looked at it before with SPY, but we're looking at it on QQQ this time. This seasonality, this is where we at right here, right? So typically, the market will underperform pretty badly. This is probably one of the roughest stretches of the year, right? Looking at this seasonal period, which incorporates data from '03 up through now, right? So looking at 2021, I just thought it was interesting that starting in the middle of February, all the way through that early to mid March timeframe, it was a pretty ugly pullback. You chopped around for a little while, and then you get here to this late March timeframe, and literally April 1st, market starts to pump, right? So you got a nice bounce. So that bounce there was a good 6, 7, 8%, right? This is where we at right now. At the end of January, you had a bottom, well, what people on TV kept calling a bottom, but it was like it was too soon to tell because I mean nobody knows how far this stuff can pull back. But when it does pull back, you have to look for bullish setups, and this was not a bullish setup to me. And I said it in my video. I probably recorded right before the month ended. Now, it was a short to medium term tradable bottom, but what you got here was just some, ugly pullback and some chop. When you get a pullback like this, you need to see an immediate bounce. And if you just went through the market and seen what was happening to these stocks, I mean, this stuff looks absolutely horrible. And I mean, it's nothing you can really do with this stuff. Apple, really. So Apple also had like a gravestone doji from last week. Unfortunately, I didn't get to short this because it opened the week with a gap down, and I did miss the rejection. But back to QQQ here. So we're in that mid-February time frame. Look where it starts to get back ugly again. So I had no reason to believe this bottom was gonna hold today, just knowing what I know about the seasonality. And just knowing this, having this in my mind, it just makes me tell myself, okay, I'll just wait for the indexes to keep pulling back. I'll wait for that mid-March time frame before I start looking to buy. And even then, like I said before, we have no type of clarity around exactly what the Fed is going to do about raising rates. Well, we know what they're doing about raising rates, but now you're wondering if they're going to do 50 basis points versus, just a string of 25s. We don't know exactly what their balance sheet runoff is going to be. We don't know when they start in balance sheet runoff. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of stuff that people don't know, and it got the markets on edge. In the past couple of days, we had some volatility because of this war stuff, but a lot of people just seem to apparently forget that this happened before the war even happened. Well, I won't call it a war. I'll call it this debacle with Ukraine and Russia. Not to try to belittle it, but I mean, it's just not a war right now. I don't want to overplay it either. So just looking at the markets, some stuff that I'm playing. I day traded silver today. I did take some contracts I got some contracts I'm still holding. So you'll see here, this was the first time we closed above the 200-day moving average, which is this purple line. And this is the key here, right? So the 200 days is purple, like diamond studded line. You got this like W pattern, this double bottom, and that's your neckline right there, this blue diagonal line, right? So that blue diagonal line is your neckline, and it's clearly trying to break out. So this is pretty bullish in my opinion. Um, we'll see where it goes from there. Something else that I'm watching for tomorrow is going to be GDX, which is the gold miners. It's pretty much the same thing. You look at it, it's another W. So you see that there, and there go your neckline, right? So a breakout above, I'll say like 35.5 2-ish. Probably should send this higher. But you can see here that it's already trying to break this downtrend even. So you got a couple things going on here with GDX. And if you look at it on the 15-minute, going into, first of all, I went crazy today. And I missed like all of that. We got a bull flag here. I said I missed that, but I mean gold still, bearish gold. But I do want some GDX just so I'm not stuck with one asset in the class. So that's some stuff that I'm watching. Let's see. Oh, DraftKings. This was up like 10, 11% at one point today up here. And if this, I didn't get a chance to short it. I should have, but I was just chilling by this point. Uh, if this go, I wanted to see how high it would go because this very well could go back to like 21.9 or 22. I can tell right now, I'm shorting this. The moment it touches 20.9, I'm starting to build a position. And if we get up here, then I'll have my full entry by the time we get up here. Morgan Stanley was a bit disappointing. I bounced this Friday, which it was Friday. Yeah, this was Friday. So it had a nice bounce, right? So I got in literally right here, which was a seemingly perfect entry. And then Tuesday comes and I was up like 10, 15%, something like that. But I didn't sell because I really thought we was going to push and test at least 98, at least 99. You know what I'm saying? But it just didn't happen. And now it's on the verge of breaking that range support. You got a bearish engulfing off of your range support, which you are failing to bounce at. That is very, very, very bad. And I kind of saw the weakness yesterday when it did not close above that doji that pin bar doji that I was watching. Let me zoom in. I don't even need this fib no more because this ain't going nowhere. So if we was gonna really pop and test those levels that I wanted, we should have closed above this pin bar that we got going on here, but that did not happen. Alibaba report earnings tomorrow. They got a very ugly head and shoulders pattern, which is very bearish, and it set up a bearish engulfing. This is something that I definitely would have shorted, but being at earnings tomorrow morning, I'm just not touching it yet. Something else that I'm watching, and I don't know if this is going to play out. Tilray got this cup and handle here at the bottom of a very, very, very long and horrific downtrend. I like the cannabis stocks. They just won't bounce. And I did exit my equity positions because I just figured, man, I just got to trade everything. I don't really feel comfortable just sitting in nothing because nothing's happening. So basically, I'm just trading anything, equity, something else. Micron. This had a head and shoulders as well on a 65-minute time frame and a double top. And this, I mean, I was salty about Micron. I ended up having to sell my shares like right up in here, and I bought somewhere right around here because I made a TikTok about Micron when it first started to break out last year. I made a TikTok about it when it was at like 74, and for some reason I didn't like play it for real. So I got like, I don't know, this was a angry trade, but that's definitely pulling back. Probably got a whole lot of downside coming for that because this is definitely a double top. And let's see. Oh, I mean, SPY. It's in the same situation as QQQ, except it's not as bad. I mean, it's bad. Don't get me wrong, but it's not as bad. You got this channel here where I'm expecting SPY to come down and test somewhere around this level and probably put a bounce in, and then we'll look at that and see if that's going to be, a short-term bounce or if that's going to be something long-term. I've been posting about this online. The MACD, it just went red. So the MACD for SPY just went red. So I mean, if nobody knew before, is definitely a nasty pullback brewing. And this is kind of a lagging indicator, so it don't mean go all out on shorts right now, but clearly we can see that the market is definitely pulling back. Oh, this was just a tragic trade because I thought this was going to try to at least break out. I mean, bounce and test that upper trend line, but you got a pretty nasty like pennant going on here forming, or ascending triangle or whatever. So whichever way this break, probably bearish. That could get ugly. I'll wait for XOP to break out above, I say 115, just so we know it's going. I'm surprised and honestly shocked that it's still down here. And other than that, the first thing I'm probably gonna buy is probably gonna be the indexes and banks. Once things settle down and we have more information from the Fed. Remember when this happened and I was saying, man, this bounce is struggling. Look at this M here, this double top. You got a double top here on the banks. That's not good. So, I mean, I said it when I made the video that this bounce was not going to be strong. It just chopped around and just kind of bounced because it had to, it seemed like. You had a series of higher highs here for quite some time. And then you just get this weak, every time it came off a strong bounce. But this time you had a weak bounce and now you got a strong pullback yet again. So that's pretty much everything I'm watching. I think for right now, the focus should be on silver and GDX. And other than that, for a breakout, other than that, just take stuff day by day, see what happens. I say those two pretty much every day until they just get outrageously overbought. And for good trade, like I said about DraftKings, I would keep an eye on that. That probably should happen tomorrow. If it don't happen tomorrow, I'm probably not even gonna look at it no more. But other than that, that's pretty much all I'm watching. And just remember this seasonality, man. Don't try to buy every dip, and just wait stuff out and just be patient. Wait for good setups. Wait for technicals to play out. I guess the last thing we should probably do is look at Bitcoin, because I did make a video saying I wasn't buying it. I mean, look at it. Like, I have no reason to buy this. I mean, I don't know how low it's gonna go. I just know right now the chart don't look good. So that's pretty much where we at with stuff. Man, I was crazy bullish on Cardano for whatever reason. Everybody was saying it's the next Ethereum and stuff like that, but it's breaking levels also. That's not good at all. Guess we can look at Ethereum. I mean, I just haven't really been paying this stuff no mind lately because it just looks trash. It looks like horrible. So we had a little tradable breakout right here, but it's not seeming to want to be much. So that's pretty much what's going on here. Silver GDX on high alert, and other than that, pretty much anything that come around. And I would just say stay patient and just wait for buying opportunities. So I'll catch y'all for the next video. Make sure y'all like and subscribe, and we'll be back later.